Well, ask you to turn on your cell phone, turn them off, and get a roll call, please.
Commissioner Edelman?
Keep missing.
Oh, sorry. Commissioner Hedrington?
Here.
Commissioner Morse?
Here.
Commissioner Francis?
Here.
And Mayor Fitzgerald.
Here. Can you stand? Take your hands off. Pledge allegiance to the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, please remain standing. John.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day, and Lord, we're so grateful for your presence and for your many blessings on this city. And so we're just thankful. And we also kind of rejoice in our sadness with this evening as this will be Tracy's last official meeting, and we just ask, Lord, that you will bless her in her retirement life and just bring excitement into her life and just bless her, Lord. And we also, Lord, looking forward to Megan and her term here as city clerk. And so we're just so grateful in Jesus' name.
Hey, John. The approval of minutes, or no, that's approval of the agenda. Wait a minute, forget it, get a approval of the agenda, get a motion, please. So. Second. All in favor? Aye. I'm gonna make a comment before we start with public comment. I'm gonna see, this is Tracy's last council meeting. She's been been taking care of the city of South Lake for over 15 years. And Tracy's been a major factor in South Lake's success for the last 15. Everything runs through and through you and has been. And I also like to thank you for all the help you've given me personally and the other elected officials who came in here with no experience, very little knowledge on how to run the city, and you helped us and kept us on the path. And I will speak for all of you and thank you and have you healthy and well-deserved retirement. We love you, Tracy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Public comment?
She has 3 minutes.
Huh?
She has 3 minutes.
Public comment, now we'll move on. Approval of minutes of the regular council meeting held on March 2nd, 2026, and approval of minutes special meeting held on February 23rd, 2026. Get a motion, please.
So
All in favor?
Aye.
Pass. Anybody opposed? No. New business. Discuss approve appointment of Megan Reps. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have worked on that before. Anyway, same start effective. You'll get used to this. March 30th, 2026. Get a motion, please.
So second.
Well, approve. Do we have to vote on that?
I would not.
Okay, Megan, please.
Commissioner Hedrington?
Yes.
Commissioner Morse?
Yes.
Commissioner Francis?
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes. And now you're official.
Oh, Commissioner Edelman?
Yeah, he's not here. All right. So now we're gonna swear in Megan Reps as city clerk effective March 30th, 2026. Please. Megan.
Right, no.
Spotlight.
I, Megan Rath,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Code of Ordinances
the Code of Ordinances
of the City of South Beloit,
of the City of South Beloit,
the rules and regulations,
the rules and regulations,
practices and procedures
practices and procedures
of the South Beloit City officials,
of the South Beloit City officials,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of a city clerk
the duties of the city clerk
of the City of South Beloit
of the City of South Beloit
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank you. Oh, if you're around. Thank you. Thank you. Megan, you don't want to. Later. Yeah. it's fine.
Yeah, I'm glad to see all your support there. That makes us feel good. I know you'll take care of the job. She's a hand on our business for for 11 years. I've been very close to it, I've welcome the one. How you can handle it. Tracy can do it, you sure stuff.
That's on a recording.
Keep forgetting about that. All right. Now we're done, close the reporter off for approve, claims to be paid February 28th, March 13th, 2026 for the amount of,
$863,086.56.
you get a motion there? Your second,
Second.
Megan,
Commissioner Francis,
Yes.
Commissioner Headington,
Yes.
Commissioner Engelmann, Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Mayor Fisher.
yes. You'll find out, I'll call you different names all. It's just the way things go. Okay, we get attorney's report.
Another additional item on the agenda.
All right, thank you. Report from city administrator, staff quarterly report.
Yes, Mayor, I do have just a couple of quick things and then hand it over to Steve for the quarterly report. I've also asked Chief to provide a brief staffing update for the fire department, so it's really not a full report, but they're gonna both kind of provide an update tonight. So, but just a couple quick things. I had placed on everyone's calendar that Aaron LaHood, Congressman LaHood was gonna be visiting us on Tuesday. His office did contact me over the weekend to have to reschedule, so hang tight for a reschedule. But we do look forward to having him here and hosting him. He has again rolled over that $150,000 to go towards our Station 1 and Station 2 improvements. So Jeff and I are really looking forward to giving him a tour, having met our plans, and of course, he's aware that you all work full-time jobs, but if any of you can come, that would be great.
When's that?
He hasn't rescheduled it yet. It was supposed to be Tuesday, and as soon as he does reschedule it, put it on everyone's calendar again, just in case you can make it.
I didn't schedule too late.
I know, I'm sorry. All right, moving on, the next item I have for the group is, I just wanted to let you know, we have successfully submitted funding requests for the DCEO. Improvements that we're going for on Little Brook, on the state line, between the state line and 75, there's just that short stretch in front of Flying J. We are greatly trying to get that area improved with a little bit of assistance to accommodate the growing area on Little Brook, and so the bottleneck off of 90 on exit 1. So we've gone after the DCEO money from the state. We've gone after Darren LaHood congressional funds and also Duckworth congressional. So 3 different attempts out there for that same project to try to get some assistance. I think it's about a $2.5 million improvement. And that will be in great coordination with IDOT when it does get here. Also, I just wanted to mention quickly that we're really hoping to get our ribbon cutting done this year for disc golf. And if you have not heard anything about Craftsman Character lately or the disc golf course, I just want to mention that Mid-States has a group of Turner students through this program, same program that our Public Works Department hosts students each week for. But they are actually doing our whole markers for us. So where you would normally have a sign in the ground for each hole of disc golf, they're making a concrete base that will hold the sign. Just really classy. It's going to have their Mid-States logo on one area and also the city logo on another area. So a really cool touch that now when those students return to City Park or their parents play that course or whatever, they really are making their mark on this golf course, and I just thought that was really cool. So we'll talk about the Craftsman Character program, but that's just one example of the work that they're doing at Mid-States to kind of get back to the community. So not only are they getting exposure in these kinds of fields, but also in this case, they're doing something to help us save us funding. We will no longer have to pay for any kind of attractive holder. We've got kids making concrete precast blocks, which is really cool. Save a little money and make their mark on the course. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention is, you'll see that we do still have our office assistant position posted. So that has been posted for a really long time. We re-upped it on Indeed this week. But if you know of anyone that's looking for full-time work, City Hall is still seeking an office assistant position. It's a full-time role. It's been vacant for, I don't know, every bit of 2 months now. So we're gonna continue to try to hire for that. If anybody has any people that might be qualified, please direct them to our website and then to Indeed to submit that application. Sorry, Steve, that was a lot. Go ahead, you're up.
Starting out the streets, we have gotten all the boards brought back over to our shop. Gone through oil changes, filters, oil, air filters, we did the track as well, did the blade sharpening for everything. We did some updating at our shop at on Donner Drive, we re-leveled the drop ceiling in the break room, put up new ceiling tiles, but the old ones were just yellow, crusty, dry. We painted the track for the drop ceiling, put up some new LED lights, we rearranged the back where we had storage. Put some shelves in some different areas, ended up putting garage floor epoxy down back there into the hallway and bathroom, just to seal everything up real good. We did some work here at City Hall. We removed the doorway that used to be behind Tracy's desk. Framed up, insulated both sides of the wall to try and keep sound a little bit quieter. We did some electrical in the back hallway, going up upstairs at City Hall, which may eventually be the entryway for City Hall. We just put a second switch in at the doorway so we can turn it off around on either side. We put 2 different door handles in that are through so they won't lock themselves out. And then we put a pull handle on the outside door for one that does get a lock. I applied and have in hand the demo permit for the buildings down there at Eastern Avenue. Planning on renting an excavator for that. Haven't heard back from all offers for the run yet, but I'm hoping the 2nd or 3rd week of April, because that way I'll have all my guys who I want to get them in the excavator after we get the buildings down and give them a chance to run it with no one. We had that last big snowfall a week or so today. Everything went good, no breakdowns. Adam Aaron from the wastewater plant came in to help out a little bit. We're down to 80 degrees for salt, but we still have some sitting there. We do have something come through we can put down. Been doing a ton of pothole patching. The guys have done all. They were out 3 days last week. They were out Monday. Again, we're still using UPM just as it's a band-aid. If it gets wet, it pops right back out. Hopefully hot mix will be back next month soon. We also went through the wood chipper chainsaws, got them all ready to roll for tree trimming and cutting for spring. Ed, our part-time hire, he's been here for 2 weeks. This is his 3rd week now. He's picking up everything real fast. He reminds me a lot of Perry, where it's you just kind of point him in a direction and he knows what he's gonna do and what's gonna get done. Speaking of Perry, he did come in last week and he's hoping by the end of April, beginning of May, he will be back to he's doing good. And then I've had the street sweeper out a couple times already this year. We just had Oscar out running that today. And then jumping in the parks, it's been pretty quiet. We've been doing our normal trash and garbage pickup 2 to 3 times a week. And we did give the go ahead for round 3 of fair rate clearing for the holes in the woods, and that should be the last round for that.
Thank you, Steve. Very good. Chief?
Okay, March 4th, the thing pretty much started training with personnel. In 9 days, we took the animals back over. And Tom Beloit is back up at their station. They're still responding as an engine when needed. And April 1st, we're tentatively set to take the engine back over as well. So the first from the 4th to the 13th was all training with EMS equipment, the EMS software. I'm just getting everybody up to speed because everybody's using a different type of software. You can use the ambulances and they have to do the drive time. 13th to that next week. was all breathing apparatus training. So they went through all that. And finished that up last week. This week is all driver and pump training with the fire engines. And so they're doing the hydrant hookups, tracking, so they're all ready to go for April 1st. So on that part of it, things are going really well. Exercising the pumps can be important because if they sit for too long, the pump vacuums dry out, so drafting is working those kinks out. So another thing is with the pumping, they're doing hose line advancements. They use different hose advancing setup around here in the city of Beloit. So they're doing about 1.5 minutes. I'm trying to get it down to 1 minute. That's my goal. And basically that, as soon as you get off the engine, you're all air packed up, the line stretched, and ready to put water in the fire. So today they were hitting 1:30. So hopefully we'll get that down to 1 minute. 1:30 is still great. It's still below the average, but I'm shooting for 1 minute. So the crews have a lot of previous experience. So that's what's been helping us move along a lot quicker. And then with Nick and Austin being previous members of South Beloit, that just amplified because they know the equipment, they know the area, they know everything about the software, reporting software and all that stuff. So having that smooth transition of those two, mainly being the trainers, has helped. So we didn't have, without those two, it would have slowed us down. So working those guys together. One of the main things we're gonna need to do is I will have is our personal protective equipment. We have a lot of gear that's expired. Anywhere from a year to 19 years that it's expired. By the time we take over, I think we're only gonna have 2 that are gonna be in gear that is not expired. That's one thing that's got me very nervous. I will say publicly, I don't agree with the standards of the 10 years. That's the 10-year mark is for boots, gloves, PPE that you have to replace. Even if you have them inspected, once you hit that 10-year mark, you got to replace them. You can use them for training, but you cannot go into an IDLH atmosphere with the expired stuff. I did get a quote, local vendor, a number of the departments use around us, and we're looking around 52 grand to get the 10 people outfitted. Unfortunately, it's not cheap. When you get into the boots and the gloves and pants, coats. Luckily, we had the helmets. I'll look and see, those were fairly new, but I'll get a whole list, get that passed out to everybody so you can see what the inventory is, so so we can plan ahead. But my goal is to use when we get the 9, or once we take the fire over, if a last resort, we can rent new PPE. You're looking at, I believe it was $406 a set. That's just for the coat and the pants. So that works out about $7 a day. We can have it for up to 8 weeks, and it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get the new gear in. So anyways, any of the older stuff that's still compliant, we can put part-time personnel in. And after they get a year or 2 in, then we can advance them and get them into new stuff. The only thing is I would use caution is when we use older gear, make sure it's inspected, but we have to be careful if it doesn't fit exactly. If somebody stretches out their arms and you have visible skin, or when you're on your hands and knees in the bottom of the bunkers, lift up, that's where you could get, if you get into a flashover situation, we can get people burned. So I'm really, really nervous about that part. I don't want to get us first, anybody hurt, but any liability in the city, if we put these people in that. So it's.
Can I add to that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so just to remind everyone, this is a purchase that we knew going into our capital 2026, that we knew we were gonna need. But we have been waiting on someone to come in and thoroughly evaluate the stuff that we have in hand. what do we have, what's still usable, how old is it, what needs to be replaced, how much do we need to buy at once, where do we get it from? Do we need to put it out for RFP, et cetera, et cetera. So Chief really has fast tracked most of that. He figured out what equipment we currently have. Dingus is, I think we ordered it from. So, you know, he's looking to try to save the stuff that we do have by staying with the same company and the same apparel. So that if we have some boots, if we have some pants, if we have some jackets that we can save, they can transition and use with new stuff also. And we do have this nest egg of money available. It's what we earmarked in the revolving loan fund. Which really isn't an active program anymore, but rather than roll that into like a general fund or a new program, we opted last year to keep that earmarked as a really good use of, you know, commercial and industrial spending and recycle that back to our fire department. So the money is there. It should not have to go out to RFP because we do have a
Source well documents.
we have a state bidding process that's already been documented for them. So as soon as we have a chance to kind of put all the pieces together, we will send that to our legal team, see if we're all square and sufficient. But my guess is that you guys will have this on an agenda, probably in April. So we'll get this stuff ordered as soon as we can. Hopefully we don't have to go too long with the renting or.
Yeah, so
After you get the okay for it, I'm sure we're gonna pay. How long will it take to get the new equipment?
6 to 8 weeks. Wow. So we're gonna be 2 months behind from when we're starting the fire side of it. I'm used to the fire district side, so I'm used to working with, you got the line items, we just go ahead and work with it. You know, this is my first time working with the city side of it, so going with, you know, we've done RFPs, but as far as we're above that $25,000 parameter. Which Simon put the brakes on me a little bit because I was ready to go, but it's like, no, hold on a minute. So,
Corner, I periodically pulling back just.
Well, you're right. The fire district is totally different.
oh, it is, so,
We got, our money comes right out of our kitty, they
Yeah.
get out of there, where a fire district, they just tell them what they want. And I have never talked to anybody in Brockton or Roscoe that would ever deny certain stuff.
Yeah.
And we have never denied it either, but,
no, I just, that process with that $25,000 benchmark.
Wow.
I was trying to get money from the police, but he said no, so. But anyways, that is gonna be the main thing is with the personal protective equipment. You know, there's gonna be a 2 month span and I'll be a little very nervous that hopefully we don't have that fire situation, but you'll have that updated report. And April 1st, that's my target date to get going.
so if you run it, like you said, 406 to run, it costs like approximately $7 a day. Can you rent up to date stuff right away? I mean.
Yeah, they can get that, because I already have the
Well,
measurements.
why wouldn't you do that? I mean, till you get it ordered.
That's probably what I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware
No,
of that.
we're fine with
Yeah.
that. I mean, we gotta make sure that everybody's protected the way they should be without, without delay, because the process is like you say, come back in April and we'll okay it. I don't know anybody that won't, and then you'll be 2 months behind. So if we gotta do it for 3 months, we'll do it for 3 months.
Hopefully.
Just for public record and say, part of the reason why we have so much right now that is out of date, people might wonder why we have so much that's out of date. Well, because 3 years ago, when we started talking about sharing services with the town and the city of Beloit, the idea was that we would use what we had that still had life, but we would stop replacing it because that cost would roll over to the city or the town of Beloit. So that's kind of how we got a little far behind. Normally, you would try to replace a couple of sets turn out here each year, which hopefully from here on will.
Yeah, we'll start working that in. So.
Well, all I hear is good news now, rather than, I mean, we knew the expense was gonna be there. We knew we had to buy new turnout gear and that was something I like, Tanya said that we would be prepared to do soon as we knew what we were doing. That was the problem. We didn't know what direction we we're doing, and now that we got direction, we're all set.
Yeah, and then just the last thing, the second day after we took the ambulance over, that morning we had 3 calls in 40 minutes. Luckily, we had a couple of guys that were actually nearby. And we were able to transport with both our ambulances, just call one mutual aid ambulance in. And we needed 3 on the ambulance that day because the patient was so critical. 2 days after that, we had a cardiac arrest. And fortunately, we had, again, it was just right around like a shift change training. We utilized all 6 people and that just, everything played out well, but we, used 3 on the ambulance instead of the 2. So even though that we don't get a ton of incidents, the ones that we responded just since we started, the amount of personnel that we utilized for that, it was key in having it, that we were very lucky at that time. So we've got a lot of positive feedback, nursing home citizens, and I'm just gonna keep amplifying as much as we can, but our personnel is great.
So it's good. Yeah, see that. Quit talking about
Yeah.
it. Okay. So, anybody got? Yeah, anybody? Anybody wants to? Yeah, I.
How's it?
I do, well, it's really nice when you hear good news about our park. It is, and it's been a few years now that we've been struggling and, it's, some of it's maybe our fault, but a lot of it's not our fault. And, but now we're back on track and I'm sure we'll
We got
progress
a good
forward.
team, so stop by anytime.
Yeah, I don't know. If
It was difficult to time this with Tracy's exit, but it was perfect.
Yeah,
On the fire truck.
I do wanna, I forgot to mention this, but Tracy's party was going, their retirement party is gonna be down at Confluence Friday between 2 and 5. Down here this Friday. Everybody's welcome and then they're off and. Okay. Time to go. Go. Alright, thank you, Chief. New business, discuss approve ordinance 2906 declaring surplus property. Motion please.
Second.
Who's got this?
I'm scanning. This is the phone.
This is.
Yeah, so
Oh,
as we have people, Tracy is purchasing a phone, but basically as we replace our cell phones. You guys are not allowed to, but staff are allowed to purchase those devices if we so wish. It's purchasing a device. We put like a estimated value on it, it's not very much, $50. Which is above the estimated value.
well, correct.
Can't we do that, stuff, Roblox?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Yeah, let's just give her a new one.
okay, motion, do it. Please, what?
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Francis,
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes. Discuss approve resolution 6684 authorized city bid on Charles Street neighborhood parking lot project. Motion.
So, second.
First and second over on this side.
You might as well take this one. Here.
Who's the property people here? Oh, is that you?
Yeah, I'll take this one. So this is the parking, the first phase of the parking lot over at we're gonna call it the neighborhood park, Charles Street Park. Had a few different names. I don't think we've officially settled on one. Same property that the city was just actually awarded the OSLAD grants for. This is the first phase funded out of local dollars. The idea was that we would construct our first phase of the parking lot that has a loop in it and a future basically dead end cutoff to where the road will extend through the property. Install an IDOT transit hub, put up some parking lights, get a sidewalk connection to the dairy ripple, construct some ADA ramps and some sidewalk around the parking lots. So basically kick this project off. It's been one that we have been underway with design on for quite a long time. The hiccup has been honestly IDNR. Fairgram was hired to do the grading of the entire site, which we did and said, okay, IDNR, we would like approvals on this because we're in the floodplain and floodway. They came back and said, nope, you got to resubmit, scale it down to just your parking lot project. So we try to be proactive. They actually pulled us back a little bit. But we are currently waiting on that approval. Our design is finished. And I'm not sure which documents you guys have in your packets, but there is an estimate of cost currently. I don't want to scare you guys, but with contingency, 10% contingency, we're looking at about $340,000. For a small parking lot like that, I know it doesn't seem that high, but when we compare to like Donna Drive parking lot that, Steve just got in his building, that was $200,000. This is roughly the same size. We've got some additional sidewalk that we're doing here, but we are also proposing a lighting system. Obviously, we want the transit hub and residents to be safe. That's about $80,000 itself. So that's where the estimate of cost came back. You guys know, Fairgraham usually estimates pretty conservatively, so obviously our hope is that when we go out for bid, we get a little bit more competitive pricing and that number drops below that level. But at that time, we will have bid opening, we will bring the bid award recommendation letter back to you at a council meeting, and depending on those prices, the city can decide to move forward or not move forward if it doesn't fall in line with budget expectations.
Yeah, and it's close to what we budgeted, Mayor. So in our capital this year, we budgeted 1.5 to go towards Charles Street. 600 of that was a matching to go towards the 600 we would get in the OSLAD grant. We were anticipating getting that. With or without the OSLAD grant, we were willing to put 300 towards it. So it's not completely out of scope. Of course, there's some contingency in there. Hopefully it comes in closer to 300 than it does 340. But I think it's pretty close to what our engineer estimate was a year ago. So it's close. All we have for sure.
See it. Get moving for 7 years. Since we- our first-
Exactly. And I was gonna say, we had gotten to a point where with or without the OSLAD, we wanted to show the community that, look, we've got this $1.4 million cleanup grant over there at work. We're gonna improve the parking situation. We don't want to continue to have people parking there, grass in an area that we're trying to get an EPA grant on. So we had kind of decided that the grant we got from IDOT with State Line Mass Transit 3 years ago now was $46,000 for that transit hub. And we haven't been able to install it because we didn't have a proper parking. So last year, the reasoning behind getting the 1.5 in capital was to try to make the lot happen, whether or not we got the OSLAD grant. Just fortunately we did. So now in 2026, all of the planning for that OSLAD grant will take place. And then in 2027, we'll have $1 million worth of engineered improvements on top of the parking lot that we get done in June. So it's gonna really, we're gonna get there. It's still not gonna be a completed park site. It's not gonna have all the things that we had dreamed about in the final design, but it's gonna be a good chunk of the way there.
Okay, Megan, please.
Commissioner Amon, Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Francis,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Mayor Fisher.
Yes. Okay, discuss approved resolution, 6685 Memorial Day Parade 2026. Motion, please.
Second.
Chris Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do this every year.
Memorial Day parade, we always have to do the resolution to, ask IDOT to block off part of the highway. That's what this is.
We're thrilled that the Veterans Association continues to do this. They've done such a great
You're
parade.
gonna be second in the parade.
I hope so.
That's what he told me. I thought,
And next year-
somebody come up to me and told me, I said, you're gonna be second. All right, I said, well, we're usually with 7th Street. By the time we get there, we ate all the candy.
I'll get some candy ordered.
All right, okay, Megan, please.
Commissioner Francis,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald,
Yes.
and Commissioner Amon.
Okay, D, discuss approve resolution 6686, approving an asset disposition service, agreement, for the disposal of surplus assets for the city of the property room.com. Motion. Okay, what's the chief?
Yeah, the police department request this just as a second.
Yeah.
For auction, the failure use Wisconsin to the post office, it's fine, but it's just.
Do they have the correct version? In the back?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
got one other person. We're too late to change a different time, but yeah, you got a motion, second, blow anybody? Megan, please.
Commissioner Amon, Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Francis,
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes. Okay, discuss approved resolution 6687, approving the professional service agreement proposal for. What's it? Hodge. Okay, Hodge, service partnership service with, air tax sensor controller equipment. Okay, cool.
So Jeff, then, yeah, you're both.
You get your motion.
Yeah, I need a motion.
So, second.
Okay.
Last year we did the same service contract, the attorneys had to make some adjustments to it to make sure that it's protected. They comes out and does calibration. Basically does a rebuild kit on each of the probes we had at the treatment plant. We had a probe fail 3 years ago, I think it was, for $17,000 for each one, and that doesn't count for. And so it's kind of critical to keep them working. It's something that we don't have to do a lot with, so it's not like we can be experts at changing it out. So it's just a regular service agreement we've done the last couple of years.
$4,000, something like that?
Yeah.
4,000, okay. Anybody else? Okay, Megan, please.
Okay, Commissioner Engelmann, Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes. That's approved resolution 6689. Director Ashley approving the settlement agreement with Michael Browning. Browning. And real passing regarding, what?
You gotta go back to that.
You missed that.
What?
You gotta go back to that. There's one about
Oh, discuss approved resolution 6688. Directing the city clerk of the city of South Beloit to publish the zoning map for the city of South Beloit. I already crossed that off. Okay, motion please.
Second.
that.
Yep, this is the zoning map. The last time we adopted the zoning map was when the I think it was 2024 when the new zoning code was adopted. It needs to be adopted every year, so this is the one that we've been talking about. It's finalized, it needs to be adopted by the end of this month. To be in compliance.
You've done this every year?
No.
No, we need to
That's what
start.
I was gonna say, that's the first time I heard it.
It-
Okay. That's right.
It is required, the Illinois municipal code that showing it's a current map, which includes all the map amendments since the last map was adopted. Be done by the 31st of March of every year, so
Oh, okay.
it's something that you will be seeing them.
Yeah.
In the agendas.
Do you make little copies of that too? This is one.
It's on our webpage.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it has our previous and our current.
And we can print out as many copies, Fair Grant, we did the map updates this year, we can print out as many copies as you guys like. I would assume we'll probably print the large scale versions, one for City Hall, one for a few offices. But if anybody wants smaller maps, just to reference, we can do 11 by 17 sheets, so 2 times the size of standard paper, or whatever you guys really want. Just full transparency, when it's scaled down into a small drawing, it is very difficult to see, so road names and things like that, so. As Sonia stated, we will get it on the city website. And then once this process is done, we will also send the data in that drawing to Wingis. And then Wingis will update their records for the zoning map online for any residents who get on Wingis.
Yeah, hopefully sometimes we're surprised when we find out what we got going here. Okay, Megan, please.
All right, Commissioner Engelmann, Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris.
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes. Okay, we'll try this again. Discuss approved resolution 6689, directly approving settlement agreement with Michael Browning and Brianna Basson regarding 619 Fairview. Motion.
So move. Second.
This is about the house.
Yeah, this was an agreement that the sellers had already signed previous to our last meeting, and so they were expecting to close on Friday. Due to the weather last Monday when we had a bump our meeting, this is the item that I did a quick call around on to try to make sure that we didn't have to delay their closing. Anything to add?
Yes, so the settlement agreement that was in your packet, was signed prior to last week. I did get a call from the title company that's handling the sale. And there was an issue with an appraisal report. So the issue wasn't tendered to the lender in time. And so they asked permission to bump the closing back.
Because in the agreement that was originally proposed, since the closing date was supposed to be March 20th. We had a drop dead date of March 23rd today for us to actually receive the funds in our office from the title company. So I am gonna ask that there be an amendment to this. Sean has made Mr. Downey and Ms. Hassan aware of the change that needs to be done. All it needs to do is the initials, so where it says March 23rd, if we can just make that April 1st. Because I have tendered a new payoff letter to the title company that requires the funds to be in our office by April 1st. So, if we could approve this with that one change, and then once, Mr. Downey is passing, pending and initial that change. Assuming it passes tonight, and, Mayor, you can make that, you can initial that modification.
Yeah, that's like March 17th.
That's the day they originally signed it,
Okay.
and it was due the 23rd.
Well, I'm gonna call it.
And it's not really the seller's fault, it's because the appraisal report didn't come back in time or didn't get drafted in time. So really all we're doing is giving them an extra 10 days or 9 days.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To get the funds here, because they couldn't close until they had a report. Also, I just realized that we are closed on the 3rd, so it should be the 2nd. Because Good
Well,
Friday is,
Yeah, the first one,
oh, I thought it was April 3rd.
no, April 1st.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 6689 as amended.
What, Vernon?
There's a motion to amend that's on the floor. That's a second. Second. You second.
Commissioner Engelmann, Commissioner Headington,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris,
Yeah,
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes, we're all done with that. Okay, we're gonna discuss approve resolution 6690, reappointing member to the SMTV board. Motion, please.
Oh, second.
Jack Cook, who's been there for a while. Anybody else? Megan, please.
Commissioner Engelmann, Commissioner Morris,
yeah,
Commissioner Prentice,
yep,
Commissioner Headington.
Yes.
And Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes. Item I, discuss approve resolution 6691, approving appointing Barbara Megan Rupp and Ela as FOI employee officers for the city of South Beloit. Motion.
second,
I hear that both of these ladies have completed their open meeting act and their FOIA training online. Ella has been working through the police department's FOIAs for about 6 months now, but we should have them appointed as official FOIA officers. So we'll get that added to our webpage. Ask that word from Tracy on that.
How we doing as far as how many FOIA requests we?
You know, it kind of comes in waves, but I would say in the last week, we've gotten 10.
I think I responded to, because I promised each separate one, we got one where there's like 7 different requests in one email. And so I responded to probably 20 in question.
I know, that's time and money, that's what it costs us. And, then we have to run everything through our lawyer firm and everything else, and it's just, people realize that some of the silly questions they ask, I mean, I understand there are good questions, there's no doubt, but there's a lot of frivolous stuff too. Megan,
Commissioner Engelmann, Commissioner Moore,
yes,
Commissioner Prentice,
yes.
Commissioner Headington,
Yes.
and Mayor Fitzgerald.
yes, executive, we're going to go in, return into executive session. And when we do, we're gonna ask everybody to leave, that will not be included. And so let's make a motion to go into executive session. Okay, go into executive session, yeah. 5:44. Yeah, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you for coming.
Like,